This is Ron Higgins with TigerDetails.com, and it's late here on a Saturday night in Tiger Stadium. And after LSU won its home opener, it was a beatdown, 65-17 over Southern University, crosstown school in Baton Rouge. First time ever for something to play in Tiger Stadium against LSU. They played here before in 1979 against Florida A&M, but never against LSU. And the game went like you would figure for an SEC school against a SWAC school. SEC schools are now 16-0 against SWAC schools, the current SWAC lineup of schools, and average victory margin about 45 points. LSU improved it tonight with a 48-point victory. This game was over after the first quarter. LSU led 37-0 after the first quarter. School record for points in the first quarter. And LSU scored the first 5 times and touched the ball. A greater sense of urgency, that was the big word this week, the phrase LSU, sense of urgency, since LSU came out and basically was in a coma against Florida State for 2.5 quarters last week in the 24-23 loss. LSU fell behind 17-3 before they woke up offensively tonight. There was a sense of urgency, and started with the opening kickoff when LSU just dough-popped the Southern returner, recovered the fumble. LSU took it and scored, and from there on, the route was on a Micah Baskerville return interception for a touchdown. He blocked a punt for a safety. He got a game ball from Brian Kelly afterwards. There was a lot of good in this game. The LSU basically played Jay Daniels just one quarter. That's all it took, really. Just took one quarter. He was 10 of 11. 137 yards, 3 touchdowns, and turned over to Garrett Nussmeier, who was 13 of 23 for 183, 2 interceptions, 2 really bad interceptions. One returned 97 yards for a touchdown. Somebody commented it looked like a New Orleans Saints interception from the 1970s, where he's just throwing it up for grabs. It was a terrible out of throw as he's going out of bounds. Never should have thrown it. And honestly, I mean, that's a little bit worrisome that he's still making throws like that. And I know this is his first action this year, but need to play a little bit better than that. Jaden Daniels also ran for a touchdown. The only thing I'm still concerned with about Jaden Daniels is he's pretty late getting to his receivers. And there's guys who are open, and he's still kind of late getting to his second and third guys, and it just seems like it takes him a long time to get to him, and of course he has the ability to scramble and get out of there, but LSU wants to run a legit offense where he stands in the pockets and throws. LSU can't survive this year if Jaden Daniels is taking off every other play when he bails out of the pocket, thinking nobody's open. There are some open people tonight, and you can't complain. Look, he was 10 of 11. There's nothing to really complain about, but it's a concern, but the ball got to those receivers a lot of times a little bit late when guys were open. And so something probably needs to work on and step up going to Southeastern Conference play starting this Saturday coming up against Mississippi State here in Tiger Stadium. I thought the rushing game was solid. LSU had 230 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns. Armani Goodwin, 2 touchdowns, 85 yards. Noah Kane, 51 yards, 1 touchdown. Jaden Daniels, Josh Williams each had a touchdown, as did Noah Kane. Next week, LSU gets Johnny Murray Jr. back. It should make a huge difference in this team. He'll be well rested for sure, and he's an explosive player. You know, he's had to serve academic problems and suspend the first 2 games, I guess, still for academics. Now he gets his shot with fresh legs against Mississippi State, and LSU definitely needs him there. Defensively, for the most part, LSU did a really good job in the first quarter. Let the steam off the second quarter. As more reserves got on the field, LSU's defense got a little bit softer. But defensively, I thought LSU played well enough. And listen, the kicking game, hallelujah, the kicking game. LSU's got a guy who can catch a punt. How about that, huh? After that first week, 2 fumbled punts by Malik Neighbors, who, by the way, had 4 catches for 81 yards and a touchdown. Bounced back good as a receiver. They didn't use him in the return game, but used Gregory Clayton Jr., guy they saw in the preseason. They liked him. He'd been good in the preseason. Why he didn't get a shot in the first game, I don't know. LSU didn't drop a punt, didn't fumble a punt, caught the punts, returned the punt for 18 yards, Clayton did. The extra points, nobody blocked an extra point. LSU kicked extra points. The protection was good there. And again, LSU blocked a punt with Micah Baskerville. So, and they created a fumble opening kickoff. So LSU's kicking game came alive and looked good. So this game accomplished everything really LSU wanted to. You would love to have this game the first, honestly, on the season, so you can work some kinks out and gain some confidence. But it accomplished what it wanted to do. It had a fast start. Offensive line was better. They moved some guys around, benched a guy. They got Southern off the field in 3 and outs, which they couldn't do against Florida State. Got Kayshon Boutte involved in the offense. He caught the first pass of the game. He had 5 catches and 5 targets for 42 yards, and he also had a 41-yard run. So they got the ball to him. They accomplished some things the mistakes they needed to clean up from last week, and I'm sure. And the best part, nobody got hurt in this game. LSU is healthy for the most part going to the Mississippi State game next week, and they'll need it because Mississippi State throws the ball all over the place. As you remember last year, they nearly came back and won against LSU in Starkville. And Orgeron praised his defensive coordinator for his brilliant game plan of keeping everything in front of them passing. And State almost came back and won the game. But tonight here just turned out well. It was a party all day. LSU Southern fans got together. It was great to have this game. It was a really good atmosphere here tonight. The bands were fabulous. The Human Jukebox from Southern, they were great. LSU's Golden Band Tigerland was great. They played a song together into halftime. So it was a really good night in Tiger Stadium. In a game LSU needed to win in this fashion, frankly. Really needed to win a game this bad, by this much. Really need to put it on somebody. Now, it gets real for them. They're going to Southeastern Conference play coming up this week. And if you've seen the SEC, it's wild already. And LSU gets to join the party next Saturday here in Tiger Stadium. But I'll be here for next Saturday. This is Ron Higgins for Tiger Details. Have a great Saturday night, or what's left of it.